Hi everyone, welcome. Today I want to speak to you about uncertainty, how it shows up, why it feels so uncomfortable, and why it can actually be one of the most sacred spaces on your journey. Uncertainty often stirs something deep within us. It can feel like groundlessness, like floating without an anchor, like being out of control or losing control. It can be excruciating fear and panic for some people. Our human mind naturally craves safety, predictability, and knowing what comes next. But let me tell you, certainty is actually an illusion of the mind. It's not real. We think we know, but we actually don't know. We can plan for anything, right? Or everything. We can plan it right down to the last detail. We can control and we can even force. But the future is never written in stone. It's always fluid, forever moving and changing with each thought or belief. So when we enter those spaces of uncertainty, because we're looking for certainty, which is an illusion, it can actually trigger fear, anxiety, doubt, and resistance. So resistance to change or resistance to being helped. But here's what's important to understand. Uncertainty is actually, it's not a punishment. It's a portal. It's the sacred in-between space. The place of where the old is falling away, but the new may not have fully arrived yet. It should be exciting. It's the space of becoming. So it's the space of the transformation, of aligning more deeply with your truth. Without uncertainty, there would actually be no growth, because we would just continue, we're certain. Like we'd just stay. It would just be repetitive. There would be no growth. There would be no expansion. And there would be no becoming who you are actually meant to be. When we can learn to befriend uncertainty instead of fighting with it or fighting against it, when we can sit in the unknown without rushing to escape it, we open ourselves to deeper wisdom, greater clarity, and possibilities beyond what our minds could ever have imagined. And that should be exciting. Because in the space of not knowing, your soul is still very much at work. Seeds are being planted beneath the surface. New alignments are forming, healing is unfolding. So even when you can't see it, it's happening. Uncertainty should be exciting. It should be the rush of what's coming next, a chance to be open and wait with wonder and excitement. The key is to allow yourself to stay still and to stay present, even if it feels uncomfortable. To trust that even when the path feels unclear, you are still being guided. So let me say that again. The key is to allow yourself to stay still and present, even if it feels uncomfortable, and to trust that even when the path feels unclear, You are still being guided. Let that sink in for a minute. You don't need all the answers right now. You don't need to force clarity. You don't need to figure it all out in one single breath. That would be boring. If you had all the answers like in an instant for the rest of your life, that's certainty then, isn't it? And it would be boring. There's no growth or expansion. So you don't need to figure it out in one single breath. You only need to take the next true step, the one that feels aligned, honest and kind to yourself, the step that is true for you, not anyone else. We're not people pleasing. Uncertainty is an invitation to surrender into trust, to listen more deeply, to slow down and to soften, rather than to speed up and push. I want it all now. It's where intuition grows stronger. It's where resilience is built. It's where true faith is forged, not blind faith, but faith that says, even when I can't see the whole path, I trust the next step will appear. We might even add another word in there. Even when I can't see the whole path, I choose to trust the next step will appear. Even in the unknown, I know I'm held. Even when I feel afraid, I choose to trust the unfolding, the creation. So, if you're sitting in uncertainty right now, know this. You're not lost. You're not failing. You are simply in transition between who you were and who you are becoming. Honor this space. Choose to honor this space. Treat it as sacred. Breathe into it. Soften with it. Because the new horizon is already being shaped by your willingness to be open and trust. To let life reveal itself in its perfect divine timing. You are exactly where you are meant to be. And your next step will find you if you stand still and let it, and stop running and pushing and moving forward ahead of time. Keep listening, keep trusting, keep breathing. Good.